I don't claim to be a medical expert, a health expert at all. So let's just get that out of the way right now. I'm not. But in my research and my reading, it's pretty clear to me that indoor humidity affects our health. It does. Whether that's too wet, mold, mites, this is pretty well documented. And in winter countries like where I live, too dry, winter itch. I'm going through this right now. Your skin, literally, the moisture, the air is so dry, it's pulling the moisture out of your skin. Your skin can start to crack. Really easy to get nosebleeds. This is not what we want for ourselves. It's not what we want for our loved ones, our families, our children. So today we're going to look real quick at how you can use a combination of sensors, plugs, to really just kind of improve your life a little bit and improve the space that you live in. Let's take a look. So, how can HomeKit help us? Well, first thing I want to say is HomeKit's not the only thing that can help us. There are other ecosystems out there like Samsung Smart Things, there's Wink, there is Home Assistant if you want to go that route. There's lots of different ways to do this. Again, I want to make sure you guys understand the concept. That's the most important thing. What are the ingredients we need? Ingredients for this are a analog humidifier like the Honeywell HCM 6009. So this is a multi-room humidifier. It's a big guy. It's 3 gallons, 9 gallons, something like that. Um, a lot of moisture putting out. We need a smart plug. I happen to be using the iDevices because I like them and because they can work with Google Home as well as Amazon's Madam A. And the last piece we're going to need is a HomeKit compatible humidity sensor. And there are a lot of these right now. In the humidity, as far as I'm aware, there's the iHome 5-in-1 sensor. There is the Eve Room from Elgato, the Eve Degree from Elgato, the Eve Room first and second generation, the Weather from Elgato, the Netatmo Healthy Home Coach, First Alert, the Laser Egg. There's a bunch of them out there. You got a lot of choices, which is kind of awesome, right? So you can choose what fits in your aesthetic and what fits in your price range. Once you got that, you're good to go. For me, what am I going to use? I'm actually going to use my Ecobee Thermostat, which has integrated humidity because I'm doing this in a multi-room. So I want to use my thermostat to kind of control this. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the Ecobee thermostat all hooked up and working here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Ecobee's tracking of the indoor humidity so that we can say, hey, when the humidity goes beneath a certain point, I want my iDevices plug to kick off, right? Our analog humidifier turns on and starts putting humidity into the air. And it will do this until we do the whole circle all over again. When the Ecobee then gets to a certain point where the air is humid enough, it will then communicate that to HomeKit. HomeKit communicates that down to the iDevices to turn the plug off. The humidifier turns off, and life is good. The cycle just keeps going. And the best thing about this is, what are you doing during this process? You're doing nothing. You're not involved. This is done. You set it, you forget it, you don't worry about it. You just enjoy the benefits of your house, taking care of yourself. So now let's go over and we will actually set this up. So normally I would be setting this up in the Apple Home app, but I can't do that because humidity isn't available as a trigger. So I am in the Elgato Eve app. If you haven't downloaded this already, it's free and it's pretty awesome. So step one, we're going to create a scene, which I've already done here, called the Ecobee House Humidity Action. So I've got a descriptive title that means I'm going to be able to figure out what this is later. And then in the Elgato app, I can actually put those little raindrops. So it's easy to figure out what it is. Really simple. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn on the main humidifier plug, which is that iDevices plug. Really simple. I can add other actions here if I wanted to. I really like the fact that Elgato has, as far as the triggers, lets you go in and specify by room first instead of having to scroll through the list. So that's nice. So now we've got the scene set up. Next thing we're going to do is create the rules. So I've got the Ecobee House Humidity rule. So this isn't exactly obvious what you want to do. If you put in just a trigger, it's going to trigger on a specific thing, like location, for instance. What we want to do is we want to trigger on anything less than 45 degrees humidity in the house. So I want to go in and choose the Ecobee thermostat and humidity value. We're going to select that. And my trigger is going to be anything. So of course, I don't want to turn it on if it's more than something. So now I'm going to have to do a conditional. So we're going to come back out of here. And now we have our conditions. So condition is again going to be in the hallway, go down to the thermostat, and I'm going to choose that humidity value. So I'm going to say if there's any change, that is less than, equal to, greater than. I have all my options here. So if there's any change less than 45% humidity, I want I want my iDevices scene to activate. So we choose the scene, and that's it. That's really it. At this point in time, you just sit back and you let your house look after you, right? Which is really nice. So what do you guys think? Is this useful? Is this meaningful? Is this kind of content good for you? Let me know in the comments below. Thumbs ups are always appreciated. Please, please, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really, really does help. Um, one thing I want to point out here, if you look at the screen, we've got some places that are 51%, some that are 47% humidity. That's okay, right? I'm looking for a value of the thermostat in the middle of the house that kind of lets me stay in that sweet spot, which is probably around 45 to 55%. I don't want to get much higher than that, and I like it around there. If you guys want to learn how to make your house just a little bit smarter, please check out my Udemy course. There is a coupon down below. Thanks.